Looking for effortless style without the designer price tag? Discover your new favorite looks at ShockShop.us. From chic everyday essentials to statement pieces that turn heads, ShockShop brings you trend-forward women's fashion designed to fit your life and your budget. Whether you're dressing for brunch, the office, date night, or a weekend getaway, we've got styles that move with you and make you feel confident. Fresh drops, flattering fits, fast shipping. Upgrade your wardrobe today at ShockShop.us, where comfort meets confidence and style is always in season. Shop now and shine your way.
The quiet streets of Brentwood have long been associated with celebrity privacy, sprawling estates, and carefully guarded family lives. But on December 14, 2025, one of those estates became the center of a devastating tragedy, one that would ripple through Hollywood and beyond. Rob Reiner, the acclaimed director and actor known for shaping American cinema across decades, and his wife Michele Reiner were found stabbed to death inside their home. Within hours, their 32-year-old son, Nick Reiner, was taken into custody in downtown Los Angeles. Now, more than a year later, Nick Reiner is expected to formally enter a plea to 2 counts of first-degree murder, with the special circumstance allegation of multiple murders, a charge that carries the most serious consequences under California law. This is the story of what is publicly known, what remains unclear, and the legal and human questions surrounding one of the most shocking family tragedies in recent memory. The discovery. Authorities responded to the Reiners' Brentwood residence on the morning of December 14th after receiving a call that prompted a welfare check. Inside, they discovered Rob and Michele Reiner suffering from fatal stab wounds. Law enforcement officials have not released detailed forensic findings publicly, but early reporting indicated that both victims were attacked inside the home. The neighborhood, accustomed to privacy and discretion, was suddenly flooded with media vans, flashing lights, and stunned neighbors. By that afternoon, police had located and detained Nick Reiner in downtown Los Angeles. The charges. Prosecutors charged Nick Reiner with 2 counts of first-degree murder. The filing also included the special circumstance of multiple murders. Under California law, this enhancement signals that prosecutors believe the killings were intentional and deliberate, and that more than one victim was targeted. If convicted with special circumstances upheld, a defendant faces life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. Reiner has remained in custody without bail since his arrest. The delayed arraignment. Nick Reiner was initially scheduled to enter a plea last month. However, the proceeding took an unexpected turn when his attorney, Alan Jackson, withdrew from the case during a court appearance. Jackson later told reporters his decision was due to circumstances beyond our control, and more importantly, beyond Nick's control. Legal experts note that attorney withdrawals in serious criminal cases can stem from conflicts of interest, ethical obligations, breakdowns in communication, or newly discovered information that complicates representation. Following the withdrawal, Reiner agreed to delay his arraignment and was assigned a public defender. His plea is now expected Monday. Mental health and substance abuse history. Since the initial court proceedings, attention has increasingly focused on Nick Reiner's mental health history. Sources familiar with the investigation have indicated that both prosecutors and defense attorneys have examined his psychiatric background and documented substance abuse treatment. Friends reportedly told investigators that his behavior had become increasingly erratic in the months leading up to the killings. He had a known history of addiction and prior treatment attempts. Mental health professionals caution that while substance abuse and psychiatric conditions can influence behavior, they do not automatically explain acts of violence. Each case requires thorough evaluation. If the defense pursues a strategy centered on diminished capacity or insanity, extensive expert testimony would likely be required. The night before. One key element investigators reportedly examined is an argument between Nick and his father at a holiday gathering the night before the killings. Witnesses described Nick Reiner as behaving unusually and allegedly clashing with Rob Reiner during the event. Details about the nature of the argument have not been publicly disclosed. Authorities have not confirmed whether the dispute directly relates to the killings. Nick had been living on his parents' property at the time. The public reaction. The deaths of Rob and Michele Reiner stunned Hollywood. Rob Reiner's career spanned decades, from acting in All in the Family to directing films that shaped American pop culture. Michele Reiner was known for her philanthropic work and close involvement in the arts community. In a statement following their deaths, Jake and Romy Reiner described their grief as unimaginable. They weren't just our parents, they said. They were our best friends. A family spokesperson later stated they have full trust in the legal process and would not comment further during ongoing proceedings. Legal questions ahead. At Monday's arraignment, Nick Reiner will formally enter a plea. If he pleads not guilty, the case will proceed toward preliminary hearings. Prosecutors will need to present evidence showing premeditation and intent to sustain first-degree murder charges. The defense may explore multiple avenues: challenging forensic timelines, questioning intent or mental state, presenting psychiatric evaluations, seeking plea negotiations. Given the special circumstance allegation, the case could become a lengthy legal battle. The broader issues. Beyond the courtroom, the case raises difficult questions about family dynamics, mental health access, and intervention. Experts emphasize that families navigating addiction and psychiatric crises often face limited resources and complex legal boundaries when attempting to intervene. While speculation continues online, legal analysts stress that the facts must be established in court. What happens next? The arraignment is only the beginning. Following a plea, the court will schedule future hearings, including a preliminary hearing where prosecutors must show sufficient evidence to proceed to trial. Given the high-profile nature of the case, media scrutiny is expected to remain intense. For the Reiner family, however, the focus is far more personal, navigating grief while the justice system moves forward. A family forever changed. At its core, this case is not about headlines. It is about a family fractured beyond repair. 2 lives were lost. One son now faces the possibility of life in prison. 2 siblings continue mourning their parents. The legal system will determine guilt or innocence. But regardless of outcome, the events of December 14th have permanently altered a family once known for storytelling, now at the center of a tragedy no script could have imagined.